can't stop.
Hey you guys, I'm Noah Wilson here from iHollywood TV. Well, we've known our next guest for quite some time now. She was discovered at the age of 7, and from then on she's been acting ever since. All the way back when she was at the Plaza as Eloise. Take a look.
Good morning, Mr. Salamoni.
Good morning, Eloise.
Has anything come in for me today? Gifts, poinsettias, boxes of holiday fudge?
No, no, and no. Now, if you will excuse me, I am very busy.
Please welcome Sofia Vassilieva joining us through VI Skype.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Do you ever, Sofia, do you ever still get recognized like in public saying, oh, look, there's Eloise, but she's all grown up now?
You would be surprised. It's actually a lot more common than you think. And I think the generation that sort of grew up with Eloise is roughly around my age. So it's like the weird, like I'll be going to school with someone, or I'll, like a friend of mine, and then we'll go get lunch or coffee with a friend of whatever. And it's like, oh, and it's, yeah, all the time. And it's bizarre because you think it'd be different. But surprisingly, everyone who recognizes me for Eloise looks about my age, and it's great. It's great because you realize that it affected a generation. So.
Yeah, I think you're in our generation, Sofia. Our young generation that we love these movies and the shows that are coming back. You know, like, I mean, from Full House to now Fuller House. Well, Full House wasn't really in our generation, but
that
you know,
was like early memories. That was
yeah.
Like, vaguely remember that happening-ish.
Yeah, and then too, the networks would replay the reruns from the show that was created like in the 1990s. You know, so now we've just kind of fell in love with that. And now it's from Fuller House, and That's So Raven, which we both kind of grew up on. Now Raven's home. Do you ever think Eloise could make a comeback? For like another live movie?
I think it absolutely could.
Yeah.
I think there's like Mary Poppins is coming back.
Yeah.
I think that why not? And also the Eloise that I did was a comeback from way before. There was like a show or a movie, I think it was a show that came out originally. And so I was like the second incarnation of Eloise. And it's kind of great that every generation gets to keep this classic alive and keep this literature alive and keeps this text alive and keep the illustrations alive. Because I don't think that Eloise is time limited. I think we keep that.
Yeah.
We keep funk. We keep that excitement, and that doesn't get lost. And so the next generation will have their version. And then there was an animated show.
Yes.
So I think it would be great to see that happen.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, I think they could even have like a live show. Instead of from animation now to a live TV show. I mean, we don't just have to have a movie. We can have a show. Of Eloise. But like now, if that were to ever happen, which I think it should be, because kind of speaking about all the comebacks happening in TV and film now, who do you think would be great to play this 6-year-old little mischievous girl?
I don't know. You know any 6-year-olds who are like full-time actors? I think we have to discover one.
Yes. And I think too, Sofia, if that were to happen, I mean, I don't know if you've ever thought about taking this on, but it's kind of like Tyra Banks. She's now the executive producer of Life Size 2. I mean, is that kind of something you would like to jump in, maybe, and executive produce in your career?
I would love to. My goodness, the thing that's become really exciting about sort of growing up in this industry and being around for a lot of my life in this industry is that you start to realize that the possibilities are infinite. So you can go from acting, you can go from directing, you can go to writing, you can go to producing.
Yeah.
And all of those venues are open, and now, like we were talking about, there's so much content being made and so many avenues for content that I would love that. I think that's just a natural progression.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of why I was saying that is because I think that you would be perfect to executive produce Eloise, because I mean, we know you, as Eloise, so I think that would be awesome, like to see what could happen and you could come up with for that. I mean, we would love it because, hey, it was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I mean, look, I even have the book. Like, I was an Eloise fan. My sister and I both, we just loved Eloise. Like, So, what did your parents think about this, Sophia? Like, you know, of course, you know, they probably were with you when, you know, you'd be on set doing this, right? And, you know, because you were still, you know, a kid at the time.
What did they think in terms of Eloise, or what they think of me acting when I was
Yeah,
young?
like, what did they think of you, you know, in terms of playing Eloise and, you know, starting so young in your career? Because you were actually discovered, you know, at the age of 7, you know, from a talent agency. And then it just kind of, you know, everything just kind of started falling into place. And, you know, it just shot off from there.
It did fall into place. I think my parents have always been really supportive. I'm really, really lucky to have really supportive and nurturing parents in that regard, in any regard, actually. And so when it kind of fell into place and things started moving and I started working, there was always a conversation of like, do you want to do this again? Are you happy? This is something that you want to pursue? So it was always my initiative that led it. And I think they want me to do what makes me happiest. And this always made me happy. And I was very similar to Eloise. I was very rambunctious and very stubborn and a little bossy. And when I say I was, I mean I still am. The fit and the character fit. And I think they were really excited to see me happy and to find what makes me happy in my life. So they're great. They're great, and they love it. And they love it. They love Eloise.
When you were doing the you know, playing the lead role of Eloise, you also got to work along with your co-star Julie Andrews, which is so fantastic, fabulous. We love Julie Andrews. You know, I mean, she's I'm speechless of words of what I could say about Julie Andrews. So how was it like, you know, being able to work with her? Was there any memorable on-set moments with her of her playing, she was playing your nanny?
My nanny.
Your nanny.
Julie's amazing. Like, I know that we all think, oh, Julie Andrews, but like, she's amazing. And so I was really lucky early in my career that a lot of the projects that I did had female leads and were very nurturing women and really supportive women. And Julie kind of launched that. It was Julie Andrews and Patricia Arquette and Cameron Diaz, and those are women who were such nurturers and such caretakers that to learn how to be a woman on a set and to learn from their example about how to deal with production and how to deal with making sure everything's running and how to take care of people while getting things done was a really exquisite gift. And Julie like was the seed of that. Like, she started raising that and nurturing that in me, and she would always make sure that everyone was taken care of. So I had one day off when shooting Eloise, and that one day off actually ended up turning into a half day, but like the entire crew worked all morning to get me out just so that I could go have tea and scones with Julie.
Oh.
Those are the kinds of things she'd do. Like, really late at night when we were shooting into the evening, she'd have like tea and little like tea sandwiches, and she made sure that everyone was taken care of and spirits were elevated, and it was a really great sort of start into learning how to hold my own as a woman, and especially in an era where that's so important. To have had those women sort of build me up to be who I am is like blessing on blessing on blessing on blessing.
In the world we're living in today, you know, what do you think Eloise would be up to right now?
Oh, I love that question.
What do you think what type of trouble would she be getting into now? In your own words.
Probably kidnapping princes and politicians and feeding them grilled cheese sandwiches and getting them ready for balls and making them realize that the world is a beautiful place to be in if we all just, I don't know, add a little spunk to it and have a little bit of fun and compassion. God, the trouble she'd be running. Can you imagine? Can you imagine like a 6-year-old at the Plaza just like Instagramming teas and video, having a channel and like running around through like laundry pipes while like Eloise would go viral on Instagram. That's what would happen. She's like a world leader. That's what would. That's.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Two, I did want to point out, you know, because the movie now, when it was filmed on set to make it look like it was a plaza, right? So,
Yeah, we built 3 sets, I think. We shot up in Toronto, and the first, because both movies were shot simultaneously, and so it was the sort of like the residence, and then that got torn down, and the Palm Court was built, and then that got torn down, and the lobby was built, and then it was shot in Toronto, and then all the exteriors were actually at the Plaza in New York. So like everything outside is New York.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, and two, you would really never be able to tell, you know, the difference, because it just looks. I mean, the sets were and the people that helped design it were just. It was so spot on. You know, it looked so great. And one thing why I wanted to mention that is because actually, when you go to New York and you stay at the Plaza, they have Eloise Suite. Have you ever been in there, Sophia, or have you seen?
Johnson designed it, right?
You said what now?
I think Betsy Johnson designed that suite.
Oh wow! Look, here's a photo here of the suite.
Ah, look at that! Look at that! So fabulous.
Isn't that beautiful? That's inside, and then this is actually the bed, you know, inside the suite.
I wouldn't sleep in that bed and have tea. Yeah. I actually haven't been back to the Plaza since we shot.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I went to school out of New York, and I'd always kind of just see it and wave, but I haven't actually been in.
I know it has to make you feel good to know that, you know, people, I mean, this movie still, you know, carries on and people still watch it to this day. And, you know, like we were saying, Eloise is such a classic and, you know, and she's such an icon, you know, really. So, Eloise should have her own Walk of Fame star, you know.
Should be pink, everyone, please. I think pink, it's a better way of life might actually be one of my favorite quotes. So I think we do it. I think we make it pink. I think it happens. But it's like, it's still aired all the time for Christmas. Like, ABC Family still does it in their 25 Days of Christmas. And it'll just show up and it'll be like, oh, I just watched it. And it's really cool because it was such a formative part of my, like, my girlhood and my career. And to know that it still gets to exist and still gets to be treasured, and that other young girls get to see that and have a voice and know to speak and not be afraid. Especially now, it's special.
All right, so Sophia, I want to mention, because, you know, I'm sure a lot of your, you know, the people watching and your fans want to know your recent projects, you know, things you're doing now. Of course, you were on Black Lightning, which was fantastic. You did such a great job. I'm proud of you. What's some things to, new things to come following Black Lightning?
What's to come? I did did Supergirl, did SWAT for CBS, did Black Lightning. Have a movie coming out that they're screening in January that was shot in New York. It's called, when I shot it, I think it was called Brighton Beach, but it now might be like a Russian-American. It's a Russian-American sort of immigrant modern story. And the holidays. The holidays are coming up.
Yeah!
And I'm writing. I've started writing. I wrote a play. But yeah, mostly I'm just excited for the holidays and the new year, and I love this time of the year between Thanksgiving and all the winter festivities, because it's like you just get to settle and I get to be home and I get to spend time with my family. So that's number one on the agenda. And then following that, we'll see what the new year has to bring. Yes,
yes. You have a lot of good stuff cooking there, Sophia.
Yeah.
Stirring the pot. You got stuff going. Good for you.
Just sprinkle things in.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sophia. It was a pleasure. Have a great holiday season and come back on the show anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing this and putting it together. It's really beautiful. I'm very proud of you, actually.
Oh, Sophia, well, thank you. That means a lot. All right, bye, Sophia.
Bye, love.